We're 9 weeks into the Premier League season, and things are starting to take shape. Teams are falling into position in the Premier League. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea Football Club. And Sean, who supports Tottenham.
Lando Norris.
FC. Oh, Lando Norris.
This is a Lando Norris McLaren F1 podcast now.
All right. Yeah, he's given up on Spurs.
Yep. Lando Norris.
We'll see if Spurs give up on Nuno this weekend after the United. But yeah, we really appreciate you all for tuning in. If you're new here, you haven't heard us before, we really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, follow, share with a friend, 5-star reviews if you are on a podcast site, things like that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think, and we will, of course, talk about it because that's what we like to do here tonight. So what we got going on tonight, guys? We're of course going to get into the comments from last week. Then we're going to talk about match day 8 or match day 9. It would have been, and then a little bit about the EFL. We do have to talk a little bit about the Europa League, just for Sean, and then we'll look forward to match day 10.
I'm not in the Europa.
Oh, excuse me.
What Europa League?
The Europa Conference League. I missed.
We don't have to talk. I didn't even know that was a league.
Yeah, it was a thing that happened last week, Sean.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just saying. But
I
as
think
always,
it's more worthless than the EFL Cup.
Yeah, it certainly is more worthless because you have to travel to Timbuktu to play.
I don't even know where Vitesse is or whatever the fuck that is.
You find out for us when we talk about it.
I'll Google it. I'm Googling it right now.
All right, so this week got a couple comments from YouTube. We'll start with Jimmy, though. I don't know if I honestly thought about not talking about this comment.
We're talking about it.
We are in week 1,000 of the penalty taking, whatever we're going to call it. And he's given us even more percentages because that's what Jimmy does. So he gave us conversion rates for Harry Kane, Eden Hazard, Mo Salah, Jorginho, James Milner, Lewandowski, and Ibrahimovic. Okay, so Harry Kane is 45 out of 53 for an 85%. Eden Hazard, 50 out of 57, 88%. Mo Salah, 23 out of 27, 85%. Apparently he scored another one. Jorginho is 31 for 36, 86%. James Milner is 30 out of 35 with an 86%. Lewandowski is 64 out of 70, which is a 91%. Again, Lewandowski was my pick. And Ibrahimovic is 84 out of 100. So that's easy math. He has an 84% saving percentage. Or if he's taking penalties against Sean, it's 10 out of 10, 100%.
I'm blocking one. There's no way. So here, Jimmy, here is my reasoning behind it. He is going to get cheeky. It is the personality of Ibra. If he puts it upper 90 all 10, I'm not getting there. But Ibra's personality is going to get cheeky, and my hand-eye coordination is going to get to one of them. That's all. And I don't know if my voice can't lend reason. I have a 6'4" wingspan. If he puts it close, I'm blocking it. It is what it is. And I'm sending it back to Oslo.
I want you to say what you were saying before the podcast to Jimmy.
Panalka?
Yeah.
No. Say what you
Jimmy? Jimmy?
Tell Jimmy.
You know what, Jimmy? If you want to find out what I'm talking about, I'll put you up there. And I'm blocking at more than half. I'm blocking 6.
You're blocking 6 out of 10 if Jimmy's.
I'm blocking 6 out of 10 from Jimmy.
All right. You heard it here first. When Red Card Radio starts making some money, we're going to fly Jimmy to meet you, Sean. And we're taking
blocking.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
If he puts them on target, I bet he is not making more than 4. Let me put it that way, because he's going to miss a bunch of them.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Hey, Sean.
I want to see this.
Do you want to know how hard Ibra kicks the ball?
I don't even give a shit. I don't care.
77 miles per hour.
Okay, you want to know how fast Lando Norris goes, 234 miles an hour. It doesn't
You're
matter.
not stopping either.
All right.
You're not stopping either.
We are moving on. This conversation is dead. Jimmy, I don't want any more comments about penalty percentages. This is getting out of hand.
Wait. I got one last. Wait, unless we have his penalty percentage from high school so we can compare it to what Sean thinks he can do.
I don't think Jimmy took penalties for
It's
his
a
team.
simple matter of hand-eye coordination.
No, it's not. It's also reaction time. It's not a simple hand-eye coordination thing.
Yeah, hand-eye coordination. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Hand-eye reaction is related to hand-eye. I see the ball's going that way, and you get your hand to it.
All right.
That is what hand-eye coordination is.
Dude, I want to take penalties against you. I think I would score. I think I would score greater than half against you.
James, I would catch your shit and punt it to the other end of the field and make you go get it.
Yo, we're going to take a trip to UVA-wise, and we're going to relive the glory.
We're going back to, what was it? The Airport FC. Are we going back to the airport?
Let's do it. We'll do a live podcast. All right, we're moving on.
Live podcast from airport.
Will had an interesting comment. This is kind of in relationship to the conversation we had about Newcastle. And I'm just going to read his comment because I thought it was well written, and I don't want to have to try and summarize it. But yeah, he says, interesting hearing the discussion about spreading the talent across Europe and having more teams capable of winning it, referring to, I guess, the European competitions. He's him speaking again. It reminds me of how older generations describe European competitions in the 80s and 90s, before the huge TV deals came in and skewed everything towards the rich clubs in a few countries. I really don't think having more ultra-rich clubs is going to help democratize football again. Honestly, I think that ship has probably sailed. The Super League is the only solution I've seen offered that has a realistic shot, by separating out most of the huge clubs with an unfair advantage, thus allowing more fair competition in the UEFA competitions. So that was kind of the idea behind the Super League, is that you would take the 20 biggest clubs, where you take the 15 biggest clubs and then 5 extra, whoever they were, and the ones that traditionally win in Europe year in, year out, and take them out of UEFA competitions, and then let the other teams who have a more legitimate shot of playing against each other fight it out. That's his rationale, his argument. Any thoughts?
Super League in its current form does not work. I think we've all realized that. In the 15 teams and 5 openings, I don't think that works. If you want to have half of the clubs be the founding members, I think you have something there, but they also have to be able to be kicked out of the league, right? Because what's the league worth if only 5 people get to challenge the big 15? That doesn't make sense.
I don't disagree. And that's kind of, I think, the idea behind why the Super League was not super desirable in Europe by European fans. But I think there is something to be said that the UEFA competitions are kind of stale right now in terms of what's going to happen year in, year out. I think you can make an argument for that.
But who's going to watch Champions League if it's not for the big clubs in there?
Also a fair point.
So sure, it's parity, but who cares?
That's the
Brighton
point.
Hove wins the cup.
That's the point. Is to pull the money away from UEFA. That was the point of their own league.
UEFA is still going to get paid if this is happening.
No,
they're not doing it without UEFA.
No, the idea of the Super Cup was to screw UEFA, or FIFA or whoever. It is to we bring in the money for you, and we're not getting enough because we are the same 8 teams every year.
I don't necessarily think it was specifically designed to take money from UEFA. I think it was designed to make more money for the clubs, the member clubs of the ESL. And
yes, we're saying the same thing.
Okay.
Because those clubs are saying we are the same 8 teams every year in random order. We are always here. We are the biggest clubs in the world. We've had the biggest draw, and you aren't paying us our fair amount.
Yeah.
Because we have the biggest draw on the TV, and we can negotiate our own TV contracts with this Super League, and then you don't get any cut of it.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
They're also saying that they deserve
absolutely
that
correct.
We
deserve a higher cut.
Yeah,
because and so to Will's point, he's absolutely right. Because the same point could be said about the NCAA tournament. It's great the first weekend when like the small colleges, the College of Charleston, or whoever,
George Mason.
I don't know, Wichita State, whoever, George Mason. Yeah, your random colleges. It's great when they win, but when you get down to the final 8, the final 4, it's always the same freaking teams.
Yeah, generally speaking. Yeah,
and same thing in Champions League.
Well, I mean,
when you get down to
in the college football playoffs, like how
many
years have we had the college 14. Football playoffs, and how many years has Alabama or Clemson won? It's like 80%.
It's been like
right?
five out of the 7 years.
Yeah.
It's been in institution.
So I don't know.
It's this. Alabama or Clemson have won 5 out of the 7.
Yeah, at least.
No, it's not at least. It is. Sorry.
That's fine. You know better than I would.
It's 3 for Alabama, 2 for Clemson.
Okay. So. Yeah. So it's an interesting. I don't disagree with Will's point. And as Americans, all 4 of us speaking on this right now, Will and the 3 of us, we are clearly, we grew up in the American style of sports with franchises and, there was no relegation or promotion in our leagues and things like that. So it's harder for us to, like, I think we all appreciate promotion and relegation now that we've become football fans.
Yeah.
And we think that it works really well in football specifically.
The one more point I was going to make on the Super League before we moved on was I think the only way it works, the Super League, was if those clubs are granted amnesty or whatever you want to say for 2 or 3 years of you will not get relegated.
Yeah.
For the first 2 or 3 years of being in it. But then after that, it's you're able to be cut. But the iron rock of you will never get relegated.
But the problem is, like, how do you decide that though? Like, right? So like there were 6 teams from England, 3 from Italy, 3 from Spain, 2 from Germany, and 1 from France.
That was the 12.
But how do you? Well, the 12 were excluding the 2 from Germany and the 1.
It was 15. So you would say
Dortmund and
Bayern
were the other 3 that didn't join.
So you say U15 are not able to be relegated for the first 2 or 3 years, whatever, like a certain time.
I'm with you on that. I understand that point. But what I'm saying was there's a disproportionate number of teams in England. So like, are you just always going to give England 6 spots? That's the question.
My point.
That's where it gets dicey.
Because who gets promoted?
It's like what happens when Arsenal finish 7th one season and they're not in the top 6, so they go to the Champions League instead of the Super League, and it just that gets weird, right?
Well, no, the Super League was super. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Well, they were never talking.
All right, I need to put more thought. I need to put more thought to this.
Yeah, clearly, we'll move on tonight because I don't want to get. We shouldn't get.
I'll put more thought to it.
Yeah,
we got an international break in 4 weeks, so we can do jerseys, we can do Super League. Sean's ideas.
Yeah, we'll talk about like what would be a better alternative to the Super League.
We'll come up with the Super League, and then I'll contact all 15 organizations.
Yeah, Will also had one other comment. I don't know. Did you guys watch any of the EFL Cup this week?
I watched the Chelsea game. I did not watch.
What's EFL?
He's making fun of Arsenal because
I'm here for it.
Eddie and Kedia are my boy Eddie. He almost missed a goal, like 2 feet away from the goal, open net. Like he almost missed it. Dude did all the right things. Like, so it was a terrible back pass by the Leeds defender trying to go to the keeper. And Kedia intercepts it, goes over top of the keeper, and he's 1-on-1 with the goal, like nobody in front of him. And he like lackadaisically dribbles up, and he's on the side, and he goes to side foot it, and like the ball bounces up, and he barely hits it, and he almost whiffs it. And he was joking about that in the near miss, how that would have been funny.
That would have been amazing.
Our third comment tonight comes from Joel. Thank you, Joel, for this comment. I really appreciated it. But he gave us a little bit of insight into the Newcastle Steve Bruce situation. Steve Bruce is in the top 3 worst managers in terms of win percentage in the Premier League history. The hatred from Newcastle fans towards him is deep-rooted. He managed Sunderland, talked down to Newcastle many times in the past, all whilst claiming to be Newcastle to be his boyhood club. Good riddance to him, and onwards and upwards we go. That's what Joel had to say about Steve Bruce firing. So I didn't necessarily know about the comments Steve Bruce had made about Newcastle in the past. I knew that, of course, I knew he managed Sunderland and things like that, but I didn't understand that there was just a foundation of dislike towards Steve Bruce from the outset. Clearly,
it wasn't just because he runs. It wasn't just because he runs faster than everybody else on his team.
Only FIFA 22.
So did you guys know that he actually had a cabbage thrown at his head? That's why Cabbage Head is his nickname.
Yes, I think we talked about that last week.
Cabbage chucked at his head. I think it was in the group chat. That's impressive.
These things happen.
I only sympathize. Well, not only. Only is not the word I was looking for. But I sympathize with Newcastle fans in a way because Steve Bruce is one of those managers that just keeps getting cycled around because he's an English manager and he's done well in the past with lower tier teams, and that's why I'm putting air quotes. Okay. That's what I'm putting. Yeah, and so he keeps getting cycled around, and everyone who has him stinks, and so I sympathize with Newcastle because you hired somebody who stinks at managing. On the other side, Steve Bruce only manages stinky teams.
Yeah, Steve Bruce to me is kind of like his position in the Premier League as a manager is like 15th, 16th maybe. Like that's kind of where he it's his skill level, right? But it's really easy for 15th to end
when
up
you
relegated.
Give him crap talent, what's he supposed to do?
But so then would you say he overperformed the past 2 years because they finished 12th and 13th?
No, I say he.
It's overperforming. Yes.
I don't think so.
He's not. He's not a good manager. But when you could give Pep Guardiola, if we want to put that as the bar, you could give Pep Guardiola Newcastle's roster, and he's going to ask for $600 million to fix it,
and that gets him to Tottenham.
I don't know.
All right.
I wonder.
It does.
That's
but you know what I'm saying?
Today, right? In today's market,
he's dealing with what he's got. So, I sympathize with both sides of you've got a perennial loser, but a perennial guy who's always on. He manages crap teams.
Those are the only openings that he gets.
Yeah, he's offered. I think that would be interesting to see do manager swap. It'd be like the TV show Wife Swap, but do manager swap for
if you gave Steve Bruce Manchester United.
No, I want to.
what happened.
I don't want to do United because Ole is not a real manager. I want to do City and Newcastle. Swap Pep and Steve Bruce for 2 months, and
that would be great.
And see
what
Pep gets out
would
of Newcastle.
not. Pep's. I could just see the beads of sweat running down his bald head. On the sideline.
I would legitimately be curious to see who is considered one of the best managers in the game.
One has $1 billion on the field, and the other one is dealing with what he got.
That's Pep Guardiola's big the thing
claim to fame. The only thing that makes him good.
Well, that's the claim against him, right? Is that he always gets these mega teams and huge teams with huge amounts of money, but he's also considered a very good manager. So you wonder is it just the money, or is he a good manager? Could he get something out of a team like Newcastle? I don't know. It's clearly not going to happen because we can't do manager swaps.
Let's also email Pep. I'll email him too.
You email Pep and Steve Bruce at the same time. Get them on
and the other 12 teams, 15 teams.
Joel and I have been having a conversation about this Newcastle team, so I'm gonna put his comments that he didn't put on YouTube out here for people to see.
I hope you have his permission to add his private correspondence.
Ooh, we're going in.
Okay.
So
public.
Did you ask?
He's on Sean's side of this. I'm not going to go into specifics, but he's on Sean's side of this debate, and he can write why and his reasoning. I think it's okay, but I think he's also misplaced.
If we're gonna be pseudo journalists, we don't need to be given pride.
Off the record. He didn't necessarily say off the record.
This is not a journalistic endeavor.
Well, he didn't say on the record either. So I'm trying to cut you off as much as I can.
Listen, his arguments are decent, but I don't think he's taking into effect the catch-up, like the catch-up mechanic. Like, sure, you have $320 billion, but you can't spend it all at once, and it's not all going to this.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah. So, but he's more on Sean's side than our side, James. He thinks they will be turned around very quickly.
We'll see. I agree. I concur.
Joel, please elaborate in these comments so then we can have this discussion.
Yes, on the record.
I mean, like, I understand we
don't want off the record unless you say on the record.
I'm not trying to dump on Newcastle as a club. Like, they have history. They're not a small club. They do have things going for them.
They are correct,
but like when you think about like the destinations you could go if you're Holland,
you keep harking on this.
Is Newcastle the place you want to live?
Have you guys seen that? There's a video clip of Icardi and Mbappe on a plane, and Icardi's playing Football Manager, and he looks at Mbappe and he says, "I just bought you for Newcastle," and he says, "It's not warm there," and just like blank stares, like, "What would I do if I was there?" So it's not happening.
All right, so let me paint the picture.
Paint the picture for us, Bob Ross's baby.
Hulk. Portuguese Hulk. He's still playing for Portugal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we know.
In his prime, he got bought by not St. Petersburg, a team in Moscow, CSKA Moscow.
Yep.
Yeah.
In his prime.
Okay, but
he's still 26 years old.
What's your point?
And he went.
Okay, but
that's
a $40 million striker. That's not a $200 million striker.
That's the same translation rate to now, because that was what, 10 years ago?
No, he's 40 million now, and like with inflations, he was probably like 12 million when he was bought.
Get out of here! No way.
Hulk is not as good as Haaland is.
Hulk is not. You're crazy here. Hulk.
All right, we're gonna
look it up his transfer fee.
All right, we can have that conversation on a different day.
We're gonna hit the
Hulk in his prime was different before he went to Russia, and he started playing bad talent, and then he got worse. We can have that.
He's never played in any of the top 5 clubs, so I'm not counting that.
I don't mean this as a pejorative, Sean, but it might be because you're a Spurs fan. You think that?
Dang.
Let's move on.
Let's look at the table.
Let's not.
So
Let's do it. I love the table.
After 9 matches, Chelsea's still in the lead on 22 points. I'm going to pull up this one. Yep, 22 points. Liverpool in second on 21. City are in third on 20. West Ham up to 4th on 17. Brighton and Hove are in 5th on 15. Tottenham in 6th on 15. And there was a team in Manchester who got absolutely shellacked this weekend. They're down to 7th now. Manchester United down to 7th after losing 5-0 to Liverpool. Everton are in 8th. Leicester and Arsenal 9th and 10th, also on 14 points. So we got 4 teams on 14th points. 11th is Wolves, 12th Brentford. Then we got Villa, Watford, Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Leeds in the relegation zone. 18th, 19th, 20th. We've got Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich. Burnley and Newcastle both on 4 points. Norwich City is on 2 points. And that's Norwich City after getting absolutely destroyed by Chelsea. So that's what the Premier League table looks like. That's where we are at right now. And so just going quickly over the Premier League matches that happened in match week 9. Starting off the weekend, we had the Friday night match, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Emi Martinez returning to the Emirates and not keeping the ball out of the net. Arsenal win 3-1. Again, just said this, Chelsea beat Norwich 7-0. Palace and Newcastle played to a 1-1 draw. Everton and Watford. Watford beat Everton 5-2. I had to double check to make sure I typed that correctly because I did not. That seems outlandish, but it's right. It's correct.
It's right.
Leeds and Wolves played to a 1-1 draw. Southampton and Burnley. Southampton-Burnley game was really good to watch.
You didn't watch it.
And Southampton and Burnley played to a 2-2 draw No, I did not watch it. I forgot to watch it, and I meant to watch it. I texted you guys. I said I'm clearly not. As a dad, I've got things going on with my kids on Saturday mornings, and so I couldn't clearly watch it on Saturday morning. I told you guys. I texted you guys and said I'm gonna watch it later.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Apologies. Maybe next week we'll have another James pick of the week, and that'll be the game that James picks to watch, and we'll see if he watches it next week.
Hey, Red Card Radio heads, make sure you hit up at James Tiffany and let him know how disappointed you are in this. He promised y'all he would have a full match report for us
twice in a row,
and he let us hanging here.
Yeah.
Red Card Radio heads, I need y'all on the Twitters at James Tiffany.
This is going to be a new segment, James's pick of the week, and we'll see if I ever actually watch a game.
Yeah.
But okay, so moving on. Brighton and City played. City beat Brighton 1-4. Leicester and Brentford. Leicester beats Brentford 2-1. West Ham hosting Spurs in the City of London Stadium. West Ham win 1-0. And to round out the weekend, what everyone is excited for, what everyone thought would be a good, fun game of football, two teams vying for the Premier League title. Liverpool absolutely demolished Manchester United 5-0.
That was a super fun game. I don't know what you're talking about. It was a great game
for us, not for Ole. Now our boy Ole, who is probably, I know I said Pep was the best manager. He's probably the best manager in the Premier League. Like in terms of tactics and game knowledge and ball knowledge, he just knows ball really well.
We're putting this out there into the universe. Yes, Ole in.
He's such a good manager. He's such a good.
This would be a really good conversation when we're talking serious. Of who actually is the best tactical manager?
Pep and Tuchel.
It probably is Tuchel, right? As far as when it comes to tactics.
Your boy Jurgen Klopp feels disappointed that you guys didn't even.
Klopp. Oh, yeah. Klopp's good. Yeah.
Klopp's system is very good. I don't know if
Tuchel's system's good.
We can have this conversation about who
we can do that somewhere else.
But yeah, that's
anyways. I don't want to talk about my game, so y'all talk about y'all's.
Why don't you want to talk about your game?
Let's go there.
Do you want to go in order? So hold on. The way we used to do this on Red Card Radio was we would go by league position. So whoever's team was in the highest league position, we would let them speak first. I kind of went away from that because I'm in charge of everything here, whatever. And I just I've been kind of going chronologically. But if we want to get
we don't have to talk about that game.
We can.
We're going to.
We can talk about Chelsea first if you want to, Brad.
I'll
give you the floor first. Tell me about this Chelsea match.
Bruh, I mean, we did what we were supposed to do.
A good
boy scored. I mean, but what do you expect me to say? 7 goals? We were clinical. We dominated the entire game. Like it wasn't pretty, and then they got a red card, so it got worse. So there's not really a ton to say. Mason Mount came out and got 3 goals, got his hat trick.
I mean, it's good for Mason Mount because he's been injured.
Fantastic.
Right? He's been injured.
No,
right?
he hasn't scored yet.
But
he hadn't gotten on the board.
Hasn't he been injured? Then why hasn't he been playing?
Not been injured. He has been playing. He just hasn't been scoring. He has been playing most games.
Talked about this like 2 weeks ago, and we were like, "Man, Chelsea are having a hard time finding goals."
Oh no, he missed 1 game. He did miss 1 game.
It was only 1 game.
Yeah, he missed like 1. I think he's only missed 1 game this year.
I feel like he's missed more than 1 game. Maybe 1 league game and then some Champions League games as well. I think
that was it. I think it was 1-1.
Anyway,
I think it was 1-1. Yeah, he was the missing piece for like that game when we didn't play him, when we were resting him.
Yeah, so I mean, like clearly a good result. I mean, I think in terms of goal difference, like that's going to be super helpful for you guys.
And Cobham is the best academy in the world right now. Right now.
Okay. In the world.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was a 6-6. All played in that game for Chelsea.
Right.
3 of the 4 goal scorers for Chelsea, all from Cobham Academy. More like there's the list of players right now playing the Premier League or playing the big games.
Mason Mount was injured for weeks. I will pull up that. I was in the bathroom peeing. For those listening on the podcast, Mason Mount was injured for minimum 3 weeks.
Yo, Sean had to get this message in.
I was in the bathroom listening to him bullshit, and I'm like, what a Chelsea fan he is, because he has no idea. He is just looking at the results and not watching games.
12 days.
Brad's already
get out of here. Get out of here. I will look at the lineups.
Transfer market.
There's
12
no
days,
way.
4 games.
So Brad's
4
claim
games.
Brad's claim is that Colbum is.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was 1-1.
Tried.
I thought it was 1-1.
You said 3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's 4 games, Bradley.
12 days is not 3 weeks, so you're still wrong. We play 2 games a week. Listen, just because your clubs aren't in every single tournament and don't play every 3 days,
just because
doesn't mean you can't math.
Just because you could beat up on the little sisters of the poor doesn't mean you're good.
Hey, Sean.
I don't think I would make that comment based on what you guys did in Europe last week.
How many derbies, right? That is literally our little brother, by the way. Like, we have an awesome relationship. Most of our players go through there, through that club that beat you guys over in Europe.
Go through Vitesse?
Yeah.
Vitesse?
They have a very strong record.
Does anyone know? I don't know. All right. I
had to look up what country they're from. Anyways.
I need to get you guys back on track because you guys are in the weeds right now.
Yep. And
yeah. All right. So anything else you want to, any more comments you want to make
Arsenal.
about Chelsea, Brad, before we move on to Arsenal?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So this Arsenal match, I thought it was pretty good. I'm clearly very happy. We got a super soft penalty for our second goal, but I'm not going to be upset about that. I mean, honestly, like Arsenal have gotten quite a few VAR calls so far this season. So me and VAR are back being best friends. But Arsenal looked good. We played well. We dominated the game. And honestly, there's not. I was a little concerned going into this game that Villa would be more resilient because they've had 2 poor results coming into this match. But we handled them. It wasn't even I don't think it was close for much of the match, personally. So that's my report from the Arsenal match. We are now even on points with Manchester United, with title challenging Manchester United. I'm just saying.
Wow.
14 points. But Sean doesn't want
to talk. What about your Leeds game? What about
we'll talk about we're going down to the EFL.
We'll talk about the EFL in a second. We can try and go in order to keep competitions together. I'll have more to say about the EFL Cup in a second.
He just wants us to skip over the latest London Derby.
The EFL. There was a lot going on there.
No, we're
3 or 4 in a row.
Hold on,
they haven't won.
We can't not talk about. There's two games that we have to talk about. So we do have to talk about the Spurs game, and we have to talk about the United game. And the reason why I want to ask about the Spurs game is because Spurs where are they in the table? They are 6th, right?
Yeah.
6th on 15 points. So just above all those teams on 14. Sniffing the Champions League positions. So they're right in the thick of things. But this is another game that they lose, another London derby they lose against a team that is playing really well. West Ham's playing fantastically well this season, and they have been for 18 months. I think been playing really well, but still seems like a team that title challenging, that Europe chasing teams should be beating, in my opinion. How concerned are you? How concerned are you with the loss? And where are you at with Nuno? Because I know you've been having some questions about Nuno. Like, where are you at? So how concerned are you with the loss, and where are you at with Nuno?
Well, you cornered me because I was going to start talking about the Burnley game.
Nope.
It's concerning because if you look at the lineup that we played, that is my ideal lineup.
Yeah.
That is our ideal back four. That is Reguilon, Dyer, Romero, Emerson across the back, with Skip and Højbjerg in front of them, and then Kane up top with a attacking 3 of Son, Ndombele, and Lucas.
Wow,
that is my ideal 11 with Lloris in goal. That is my ideal 11. That I feel like is our best attacking solution, with Skip and Højbjerg out of the back. To those 3 creative players, Son, Ndombele, Lucas, those are our 3 most creative players. And it's a gap between those three and the next one, because Kane's not creative. He's a back to goal. I mean, he can be creative. He passes out of his.
I think the reason why Kane drops back so far to receive the ball a lot is because he is one of your more creative players.
I just don't agree.
Oh.
And where did the goals come from when he was being creative?
His assists.
Son. They were coming from Son.
His passes.
Yes. All of the assists to Son come when he's up top and passing it off to Son coming off the wing. It's not him dropping back and it's not him dropping back and finding the pass.
Well, I think that's
him
that's kind of the issue with
off.
Spurs, right? Is that like, where is their creativity coming from? And Harry Kane sometimes feels like he needs to do that, and so he drops back to receive the ball deeper.
It's what we've lost since we haven't had Christian Eriksen. It's what we have missed without having Christian Eriksen. Like Eriksen was that player.
It's like you guys could really use an Emile Smith Rowe or something.
Well, you apparently you got two of them. If you want to hand us over Odegaard or whatever, like you got two of them over there. But yeah, a player like that, just to be creative in the middle, we don't have that. Yeah. So Ndombele could be that. He has a talent to be that. I don't know if he has the mind for it.
I don't know if he has like that final pass. I don't know if he has the unlocking pass in his.
He's just. I think his mindset is more aggressive.
Yeah.
So he'd rather take someone on than pull it back and look for the pass.
Yeah.
Which is that's not a bad quality. I just don't think he's a center attacking mid.
So this is you've established you think this was a really good Spurs team. Like in terms of what you want to see Spurs, the players you want to see.
In my mind,
this was the right Spurs team.
Yes. So that's why it was so disappointing to see us not score anything.
Yeah.
Dominate possession, not get shots on goal, not get shots off. We had the same amount of shots on goal. Just not create any chances really.
So where does that leave you?
It was disappointing.
Where does this leave you with Nuno?
Gotta go.
Really?
Wow. Nuno out.
So this is crazy to me. That Spurs fans are this.
It's frustrating. Frustrating.
Who are you guys going to get? This is the same thing that I have about Arteta.
Mikel Arteta is who we're hiring.
Secondly, but
you guys went through a super exhausted managerial search this season. I think you guys absolutely need patience with Nuno. I think if you guys give Nuno time and give him off seasons, and Spurs, I think Spurs fans need to rein in their expectations.
Well, let me. What did
you guys coming into the season? What did you expect to attain coming into the season?
Let me rephrase. I am Nuno out, but I'm not ready to fire him. Which means he is on the wrong side of the approval rating right now. Okay. He is not the 0.
So, but
he's on the 45%.
I think that this question that I'm posing to you will help elucidate your mindset. But what were your expectations coming into this season? What did you realistically want to see Spurs achieve? Because you didn't pick Spurs to win the league. When we all had the choice and the chance to pick our
top
teams.
4.
So you think Spurs' legitimate chance was the top 4 this season?
We have do we not have the talent on our squad?
You guys are only 2 points off the top 4.
And you
then why can't we score goals?
And this is the crazy thing about Spurs this season is you guys are only 2 points off the top 4, but you look like shit. Like week in and week out, you guys look like trash, but you guys are still in it. And so you're playing really shitty football.
I guess that's good, but it's crap to watch.
So
it sucks.
Well,
I feel like shit every time I watch them.
Everybody's figured out how to play Nuno. You give them the ball, they can't score. Nuno plays counter-attacking ball. Also, you guys bought a defense. Didn't buy an attacking play. You didn't buy an attacking mid. And Dele was supposed to slot back in there and didn't show up. So
I'm just glad we got.
This is essentially the same team Jose had, so I don't know why you expected different results. And the only reason why you guys had the record you did is because Kane and Son went on a tear in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Those goals dried up and those assists dried up. You guys went
Hey, we've hit. We're almost in November. We're ready for when Kane makes his golden boot run.
So what happens if in 10 more games, so we're at 9 games now, what happens if at 20 games, you guys are still in the thick of it and like Kane's been scoring goals, but you still look like you've been playing like shit? Like, that's the question.
Then we're Nuno in.
That's
okay. So this, yeah, you guys.
That's the Spurs way. This is Spurs way.
This is the way.
This is Spurs way of playing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like
it's rough. That is my ideal 11 though. That would hurt.
Yeah, West Ham's no pushover.
West Ham's a good team, but like you guys just can't win in London. What was this, your 5th London derby loss in the league?
Move to Birmingham.
It sucks.
Move in next to Villa.
Yeah.
I do think we need to talk about this United Liverpool game. We can't get away without not talking about it.
No.
Because of the implications of it. Liverpool are still second on 21 points. And they actually have a superior goal difference to Chelsea, even though Chelsea got 7 past Norwich. So clearly Liverpool are up for it this year. They're clearly going to be fighting for the title, which I think we all expected them to be. What do we make of United? Like what should we make of United? Yeah, clearly.
I honestly think I know there's a running joke. I honestly think that Ole is just guiding a ship. I don't think he's a good manager, but I think as long as he doesn't screw up, he could be viewed as a good manager. And I don't think he's screwing up. I think he just like what manager is gonna get his players to not get barraged like that? Every manager gets barraged.
Yeah, like he clearly has some albatrosses in his team. Like Harry Maguire is an albatross. Like I personally think Cristiano Ronaldo at this point in his career is an albatross.
Yeah.
So like
I'd be interested to see has Cristiano Ronaldo ever been beat 7-0? Like that probably
5-0.
Probably not.
Oh, 5-0, sorry.
That's probably the worst defeat of his career. But
like I bet
this big of a game.
I bet Cristiano is taking over the locker room so Ole doesn't have to.
Well, word on the street, the report that I saw today was that Cristiano did a good job of rallying the players and like moving on, being like, "Look, who cares? Let's move the fuck on."
It happens. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you get your butt beat.
But
we got another game.
Weird squad. Like the squad feels unbalanced, right? Like
I said that a couple weeks ago about them having so many left wingers.
Well, no, they have so many attackers, and like their midfield can't do anything. If you're expecting Pogba to play defense, that's laughable. And I think the best way to
I think you picked the wrong one,
Gunnar. The best way to describe him is vibes. He's such a vibes manager. He can do okay in like tactics in the game or like making substitutions, and they're pretty impactful. But he also has a killer bench. I also think signing Ronaldo was silly. Like you have a great young core. The only reason why it made sense is because we can't let him go to City.
And that's what happened.
He got played.
They got played
because
hard.
Greenwood could be your striker, learning from Cavani. Rashford on the left or right, and Sancho.
Ronaldo
and Bruno in the middle.
Ronaldo can only play center forward. He can't play left winger. He wants to play left winger, but he doesn't have it anymore.
He doesn't have the speed.
He can't press.
Yeah,
he doesn't press. What was that? He can't. He does not press. So like you don't have anybody pressing, and then you don't. McTominay and Fred can't function. In all of that green space.
They have big issues with their squad, I think.
Yep. And Wan-Bissaka is, a tackling machine, but he's making up for all of his mistakes. And like I think people have found that out.
Yeah, I think this United team, I don't see how Ole survives at the end of the season because they're not going to win the league. I
don't think he makes.
I don't think
they might win an FA Cup or something. Does Ole save his job if they win an FA Cup and finish in the Champions League? I don't know. I don't think he should.
It's a trophy.
I think Conte is coming for it.
That's his first trophy.
Like that's the thing is like there are other managers that could be available.
I think Conte is coming for that United position.
Well, if Spurs beat United, the word on the street is that he's not going to survive. So we'll see. We'll see if Mikel Arteta outlasts another manager in the Premier League. We'll quickly go over the EFL Cup because that's all it deserves is just a rundown of scores.
It's nothing. Yeah.
Arsenal beat Leeds 2-0. That was a fun game to watch for me. I enjoyed it. Chelsea and Southampton played to a 1-1 draw. Apparently this was a white knuckle experience for Brad. He was super stressed and nervous during the penalty shootout. They win 4-3 on penalties and advance. QPR and Sunderland played to a 0-0 draw. Sunderland win 3-1 on penalties. Burnley lose to Spurs 1-0. Leicester and Brighton Hove Albion played to a 2-2 draw. Leicester advanced 4-2 on penalties. Liverpool beat Preston North End 2-0. Brentford beat Stoke 2-1. Thank God, because Stoke is the worst. And West Ham United, the Hammers, give everyone a shot in the EFL Cup. They have ousted City, the 4-time reigning champions. They played to a 0-0 draw and advanced 5-3 on penalties. And so, hey, I was saying last week that it didn't matter because City were going to win it because that's what they do. They win. They win the cup. But they're not going to win the cup this year, so it's anybody's game.
Hey, West Ham's beating everybody around here. Everybody that's a really good team, West Ham's beating them. So
yeah. I mean, think about it like this: like Tottenham beat Manchester City, Tottenham lost to West Ham, West Ham beat Manchester City. So clearly it goes West Ham, Tottenham, Manchester City. Yeah, clearly.
West Ham's clearly the best team in the league.
Oh, in the world. In the world, actually.
In the world. Okay.
That's
speaking of the world.
Unless you guys have anything you want to say about the Carabao Cup, by all means you can.
I don't give a shit. Brad,
on to the next round.
Yeah, it's the League Cup. Literally do not care. It's a free cup. Europa League we recorded last week and the Europa League matches hadn't happened yet. So just as a quick update for everyone who cares, our West Ham United fans, West Ham had a great week, capped off with, it started last week after our recording, beat Genk 3-0 in the Europa League. Then they beat Spurs. Then they beat City. So they had a great 3 games in a row. Spurs lost to Vitesse. Or if that, apologies to you Vitesse fans if I'm saying it wrong, but I'm not going to do the research to find out how to say your club name. But Spurs lost. It's the conference.
Literally nobody. It was all backups.
It was your children. What was your second string? And then
that's exactly what I expect from that. That's the entire experience.
That's the team you guys should.
I think you should still expect to win. But
I think we should expect to not be there.
Yeah, you should expect to win that game with the squad you played, but you should also not care if you lose. Which I'm glad that you don't. I'm glad that you don't care.
I don't give a shit.
That's kind of the rundown of football that took place in and around England for the top division and for our team specifically over the last week. We're going to quickly take a look at match week 10 coming up, and I'm unprepared because I did not check to see if there's are European games again next week. I don't know. Someone look into that for me, Brad. But starting out match day 10, we have Leicester is hosting Arsenal. Then we've got Watford hosting Southampton, Liverpool hosting Brighton, Newcastle hosting Chelsea, City are hosting Palace. That should be a good game. Burnley hosting Brentford, Spurs are hosting United. We've got on Sunday Norwich hosting Leeds, Villa hosting West Ham, and Wolves hosting Everton. How do you feel about that Newcastle match, Brad?
I'm actually excited.
Are you and Joel going to watch it together?
Yeah, we are going to. I owe him a beer. He owes me a beer. So we're going to do that. Watch the game together.
Are you guys going to go to a pub or something? Or are you going to just go to a house or something?
Just at the house.
Oh, okay.
Sit on my big couch. That's too big for my living room. And enjoy this game. Enjoy Chelsea winning. As we should. On our run of form. Then we play Malmo midweek. And Spurs play Mura.
Okay, so there is Champions League coming up.
There is Champions League and Conference League. Mura.
Champions League, Europa League. Okay. So that's what, match day 4 in the Champions League?
Yeah, match day 4.
4. Yeah. Okay. I think the Arsenal Leicester game should be pretty good. Leicester are on a good run of form recently. And they even points with Arsenal, so both teams are on 14. Either one of these teams win, it's very good for their season. either one of these teams lose, it's not so good for their season. So it's probably going to be like a 2-2 draw. That's probably what's going to happen. Other than that, it seems like kind of chalk. I mean, Spurs United should be a good game. But
I mean, both teams are falling, so I'm here for it.
Both teams need to win. For different reasons. Spurs need to score some goals and win to reassure the fan base. For whatever reason, even though they're still in the thick of it, but United need to win because they're on free fall.
They haven't won in 4 games in the league.
They're not on a run of form.
I know in European competition, Harry Kane has a tendency to not score when he needs to, but it seems like when we need goals, Harry Kane shows up, especially like around this time, like around Halloween. So,
do you think Spurs are going to win this game?
Yeah, it's going to be like a 2-1, 3-1.
Oh, wow. You guys are slapping United.
Yeah, and controlling the game.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Yes.
All right.
Very bold.
I think
with 41% possession.
You guys are controlling the game with 41% possession.
Yep.
All right. Well, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see the defensive control in this game.
Oh yeah.
I think we alluded to this earlier, but James's pick of the week. This is the game that.
Oh yes, James's pick of the week. I can't wait for it.
We need to get a graphic and
we do
my spinning head or something like that. Well,
what game is James watching this week?
The game that James has picked out to watch is Watford hosting Southampton.
Oh
yes, that was going to be my vote for you.
It sounds particularly awful.
I think that Southampton is on a good run of form. They're up to 8 points in the league. Watford are on 10 points in the league. So both these teams need to get some points out of this game.
But both of them are despicable to watch.
Watford scored 4 goals in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I saw that. I watched that.
So
against Everton.
I think that game's probably around 10 a.m. on Saturday. I won't be watching it live, of course, because I'm a father and I do things. But I will watch it, and I should tweet while I'm watching it. Let everybody know.
Okay.
I think you should. I think you should.
So that's James's pick of the week.
Yeah.
Send me all of your.
Yep. The most despicable game of the week goes to James.
Hey, if he misses that one, then I think it's Norwich Leeds. If you miss the Saturday game, then I think
Norwich Leeds has got to be pretty bad too.
Oh man,
that says you want to. If you ever want to get interested in the championship, here's a preview: Norwich versus Leeds.
That would be funny. Other than that, it sounds like we got some Champions League coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and some Europa League and Conference League coming up on Thursday of next week. Probably be some good games there. We will not going to talk about them tonight because that's all we got tonight.
It's Liverpool Atleti.
Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be good.
And it's at Liverpool's home.
Anfield is the name of the stadium.
Anfield.
I can't think of it in time, so I just said it at home.
So, Brad, we used to do this. I want you to look at the camera, Brad. We used to do this. We used to have fun facts.
Ooh.
Sean and I came up with a fun fact for you. So
while we were waiting on you while you were at Target.
In the Premier League, in the top 12 of the Premier League, there are 2 teams with negative goal difference.
No. Eyes at the camera.
I know who it is. Look, I'll turn it off. I know who it is. Who are the teams?
Yeah, who are the teams?
Arsenal and Tottenham.
That's correct. Arsenal and Tottenham.
Why are you guys killing yourselves here?
It was a funny thing that we came up with.
It's very funny.
So just for the viewers and listeners, the joke was there out of the top 12, there are 2 teams that have a negative goal differential. And that is Tottenham at -4 and Arsenal at -3. The rest of the top 12 have a 0 net rating or better.
Yeah, at least 0 or positive.
Yeah.
I also want to point out to you guys that none of you guys mentioned this, but There's this football hat.
I saw the hat.
Me. I thought that was just an ode.
No one said anything. That's
we weren't going to.
There's a Juventus hat behind you. I saw it.
Someone dropped off a Juventus hat on my table just for you, Sean.
Ooh.
Well, Chiellini can pick one and suck it.
Hold on.
Can pick one and suck it. Wow. That's then be fighting.
That's how I feel.
Hey, they're on the same points right now. Juve and Tottenham have the same amount of points for their home leagues.
Juve's been on a tear.
Oh, wow.
Drew and lost the past two.
On a tear, has that been win one game?
Well, they've
Is that
won
a tear?
3 out of their last 5, and Tottenham's won 2. So
true.
Chiellini must be on the bench.
He does play. He doesn't play a lot because he's old.
Good.
All right. That's all we got.
Can't wait till he retires.
If you guys could, if you're still listening to, we really appreciate it that you have listened to this far. If you haven't already, press the subscribe button, like button, rate it at 5 stars, giving us a comment. We would really appreciate it if you do those things. If you could, share it with your sister. If you don't have a sister, share it with that cute girl up the street. She would love to hear about some English football. Other than that, that's all we got tonight. As always, hit us up on Twitter. This is at KSBradG. Down below is at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany, and we collectively are at RedCard_radio. One of these days, guys, I'm gonna nail the outro without.
No, you're not.
Oh, you're gonna do great.
One of these days. But that's all we got for tonight. Really appreciate you guys, and we will see you all next time.